Hello, English learners. Welcome back to Daily English Talks. I'm Mia, and today we are going to spend our time together diving deeply into how you can learn the American accent fast. We'll explore how to train your ears, your mouth, and your mind so that speaking with an American accent becomes more natural to you over time. This is not about sounding like someone else entirely. It's about making your English sound smoother, more understandable, and closer to the rhythm and pronunciation patterns you hear in American media, in everyday conversations, and in the people around you. First, let's remind ourselves that an accent is not a switch you can turn on instantly. It's a habit your mouth develops over time. If you've been speaking English for years with a certain pronunciation, your muscles, your tongue, and your brain are used to moving in a certain way. The American accent will feel different in the beginning. There will be sounds that don't exist in your first language, and there will be sounds you've heard before but never quite produced in the same way. That's perfectly normal. Today, as we go through our lesson, I want you to practice speaking with me as often as possible. Repeat after me. Try to match the tone, the speed, and the movement of my mouth in your mind. Even though you can't see me, you can imagine the shapes and placements. This mental connection will help you much more than you might think. One of the first things you need to understand about the American accent is the concept of stress and intonation. In American English, not all words are pronounced with the same level of force. Some words are stressed, meaning we make them stronger, longer, or higher in pitch. Others are reduced, meaning they are softer, shorter, and less clear. For example, listen to this sentence. I'm going to the store to get some milk. If I say it naturally, it will sound like I'm going to the store to get some milk. Notice that going to became going to and then gonna in even faster speech. Notice also that to get can sound like to get. The stressed words are store and milk because they carry the most meaning. The other words connect them like a soft bridge. Let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. I'm going to the store to get some milk. Now, a little faster. I'm going to the store to get some milk. And now, at natural speed, I'm gonna go to the store to get some milk. Each time you repeat, feel the rhythm. American English often has a da-dum pattern, like a gentle heartbeat. Try it again, focusing on where your voice rises and falls. Another key feature of the American accent is the way vowels are pronounced. American vowels can be more relaxed or more stretched compared to other accents. For example, in British English, the word can't often has a very short A sound, but in American English, it's more open, like can't. Similarly, the word hot in American English has a more open and round vowel than in some other forms of English. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Hot, not, lot, got, spot. Listen closely. Your mouth should open more than usual. Your jaw should drop slightly, and the sound should be warm and clear. Let's try with sentences. Repeat after me. It's hot outside today. I got a lot of work to do. That spot is perfect for a picnic. Each time you say these sentences, pay attention to how the vowel sound sits in your mouth. It's not tight, it's open. The American R sound is another famous feature. It's quite different from the R sound in many other languages. In American English, the R is pronounced by curling your tongue slightly upward toward the roof of your mouth without touching it. Your lips might round slightly. Let's practice the R sound by itself. R. Now try with words. Red, right, R. Oi, rain. Try to feel the vibration in your throat as you say these words. In American English, the R sound is pronounced clearly in almost all positions. In some other accents, it disappears at the end of words, but in American English, it stays strong. For example, in the word car, you still hear the R clearly. Let's make sentences. Repeat after me. The red car is parked right in front of the road. It's going to rain later. That's the right answer. Practice saying these slowly first, focusing on shaping your tongue and rounding your lips for the R. Then try them faster, keeping the R strong and clear. Another important sound is the American T. Sometimes it's a strong T, like in top or table, but sometimes it changes into a softer sound called a flap T. The flap T happens when the T is between two vowel sounds, and it sounds almost like a quick D. For example, water often sounds like water, city sounds like city, and butter sounds like butter. Let's practice water, city, butter, letter. Repeat them slowly first, then a little faster, and notice how the T softens. Now, let's make sentences. Repeat after me. I need a glass of water. The city is very busy. I like butter on my bread. Write a letter to your friend. Each time, feel how the T turns into a softer sound without completely disappearing. This is one of the most common features of American English, so learning it will instantly make you sound more natural. Listening practice is just as important as speaking practice. You can't produce a sound well if you can't hear it clearly. So I want you to spend time listening to American speakers, watch movies, listen to podcasts, or follow YouTube channels that feature native speakers. When you listen, don't just focus on the words. Pay attention to the melody, the pauses, and how the voice rises and falls. Try shadowing, which means repeating exactly what you hear immediately after you hear it. Even if you don't understand every word at first, the goal is to copy the sound and rhythm. Let's try a short shadowing exercise now. I'll say a sentence, and you repeat right after me, matching my rhythm and tone as closely as possible. I can't believe it's already Friday. Again. I can't believe it's already Friday. One more time. I can't believe it's already Friday. As you shadow, focus on speed, stress, and the blending of sounds. Now let's work on linking. In American English, words often connect together so that one word flows into the next without a pause. This is called linking. For example, in the phrase turn off, the N sound of turn connects directly to the O of off, so it sounds like turn off. Let's try. Turn off the light. Say it slowly. Turn off the light. Now faster. Turn off the light. See how smooth it becomes? Practice these linked phrases with me. Wake up early. Take it easy. Give it to me. Pick it up. Put it on. Read them slowly first, then faster, then at natural speed. Linking makes your speech sound more fluid and more like a native speaker. One thing you might notice when you listen to American speakers is that they sometimes drop sounds in casual speech. This is called elision. For example, I don't know often sounds like I don't know. Going to becomes gonna, want to becomes wanna, and got to becomes gotta. These forms are common in spoken English and make your speech sound more relaxed. Let's try them. I don't know. I'm gonna go now. I wanna eat. I gotta finish this. Practice them slowly first, then speed up until they sound natural. Finally, remember that practicing an accent is like learning a musical instrument. At first, you have to focus on each sound carefully. Over time, your mouth will remember the shapes and movements without you thinking about them. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. So keep practicing every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Talk to yourself, read aloud, shadow native speakers, and listen closely to the sounds you want to master. Every small step counts toward your goal. Now that you've started becoming familiar with the sounds of American English, it's time to think about how your mouth and face actually move when you speak. Speaking with an American accent isn't just about the sound. It's also about muscle memory. Your lips, tongue, and jaw all need to adjust to new positions so the sounds can come out naturally. One exercise that works very well is slow motion speaking. This means you take a sentence and say it much more slowly than normal, exaggerating every single sound. It might feel strange, but it helps your muscles get used to the shapes. For example, take the sentence, "The weather is really nice today." First, say it very slowly, opening your mouth a bit more for each vowel and making each consonant clear. Then gradually speed up, keeping the same shapes until you reach a natural pace. This will help you keep clarity even when you speak faster. A big part of sounding American is mastering the vowel length. In American English, some vowels are held a little longer than others. This is not just for style, it's part of the rhythm. For example, in the word need, the vowel sound is longer than in the word net. Repeat after me slowly. Need, net, feel the difference. Now try these pairs. Seat, set, leave, live, beat, bet. Notice how the first word in each pair has a longer, clearer vowel. We can put these into sentences for better practice. Repeat after me. I need to set the table. Please leave the room and live your dreams. He beat the drum and bet on the race. Each time you practice, focus on holding the long vowel sounds a little more so they are distinct from the short ones. Another characteristic of the American accent is the way people smile slightly when they speak certain sounds, especially the long E sound, like in see or easy. This is not a full smile, but a gentle widening of the lips that helps make the sound brig. Try saying see, easy, green. Repeat a few times and notice how your lips naturally stretch sideways a little. Now try, I see green trees. That's easy for me. The more you get used to shaping your lips this way, the more natural it will sound. Let's move to consonant endings. Many learners tend to drop the final consonant in words, especially in casual conversation. But in American English, even if the consonant is softened, it's still present. For example, in the word stop, the P is not explosive, but your lips still close. In cold, the D is voiced softly, but it's still there. Let's practice. Stop, cold, help, hand. Make sure you finish each word clearly, even if it's gentle. We'll try this in sentences. Repeat after me. Please stop here. It's a cold day in the city. Can you help me with this? She held my hand tightly. Clear consonant endings make your speech sound more confident and help others understand you more easily. Another feature you'll notice in the American accent is that certain vowel sounds change slightly before R. For example, in the word care, the vowel is not the same as in cat. In for, it's different from for. Let's practice. Care, for, more. Sure. Compare care and cat. Compare for and far. This R-controlled vowel sound is unique and takes time to master. Here's a sentence practice for R-controlled vowels. Repeat after me. I care more about this than you know. 4 more people are sure to come. Make sure the R sound blends naturally with the vowel without a pause in between. A lot of learners also struggle with the TH sounds. In American English, there are 2 TH sounds, the voiced TH, like in this, and the voiceless TH, like in think. For both, the tip of your tongue comes out slightly between your teeth. For the voiced TH, your vocal cords vibrate, and for the voiceless TH, they do not. Let's practice. This, that, those, these. For the voiced one, and think, thanks, through, three, for the voiceless one. Now, in sentences, repeat after me. This is the best idea that I've had. Those are the shoes that I bought. I think we should leave through the back door. Thanks for helping me 3 times today. Pay attention to keeping your tongue between your teeth and not pulling it back too soon. Another helpful habit is practicing minimal pairs, words that differ by only one sound. This trains your ear and your mouth at the same time. For example, ship, sheep, bit, beat, fan, van, thin, then. Practice these slowly, focusing on the sound change. Then put them in sentences. The ship is bigger than the sheep. I bit the bread before I beat the drum. The fan is louder than the van. I saw him then, not thin. When you practice your American accent, it's important to think about word reduction as well. In natural American speech, small words like of, and, to, and for often become reduced. For example, a lot of becomes a lotta, want to becomes wanna, and going to becomes gonna. This is how people speak naturally in casual situations. Let's practice. I'm gonna go now. I want to eat something. There's a lot of noise outside. Repeat them slowly, then naturally, keeping the stress on the main words, not the reduced ones. Listening is your guide. Find a short clip of a Native American speaker and listen to it many times. At first, focus only on understanding, then focus on copying the rhythm. Finally, shadow the speech exactly. This 3-step process, understand, copy, shadow, will make your learning much faster. Let's do a quick shadowing drill together. I'll say a natural American English sentence, and you repeat right after me. Could you pass me the water? Again. Could you pass me the water? Notice the flap T in water and the linking between pass me as so it sounds smooth. In addition to sounds, think about how Americans use pauses. Pauses are not just empty spaces. They give your listener time to process and make your speech sound more natural. Instead of speaking at one constant speed, slow down a little when you introduce a new idea, then speed up slightly on less important parts. For example, yesterday, I went to the park and I saw my friend there. The pause after yesterday and park gives the sentence a nice flow. Let's practice with a sentence you can use in daily life. Repeat after me. So, I was thinking, maybe we could go to the movies tonight. Hear how the pauses give it a conversational tone. Practice using pauses not only when reading, but also when speaking from memory. Another important point is emotional expression. The American accent often carries a lot of emotion through intonation. Even in casual speech, you can hear a rise in pitch for excitement or surprise, and a fall in pitch for seriousness or finality. Practice by exaggerating slightly. Say, "That's amazing," with your pitch going up at the end. Then say, "That's enough," with your pitch going down. This helps you sound more natural and keeps your listener engaged. You can combine pronunciation, rhythm, and emotion by practicing small stories. Here's a short one. I woke up this morning and it was raining. I made some coffee, sat by the window, and watched the rain fall. It felt peaceful and calm. Repeat it after me, paying attention to the relaxed pace, the linking of words, and the emotional softness in the tone. The truth is, learning the American accent fast depends on how often and how effectively you practice. Short, focused practice every day is better than a long session once a week. You can practice in the morning by reading aloud for 5 minutes. In the afternoon, you can shadow a short audio clip. At night, you can talk to yourself about your day, focusing on clear pronunciation and natural rhythm. This constant exposure keeps the sounds fresh in your mind and body. I also recommend recording yourself regularly. Pick a paragraph, read it out loud in your best American accent, and then listen to it. Compare it to a native speaker saying something similar. Notice where your sounds are different and work on those areas. At first, you might be surprised by how you sound, but this self-awareness is the fastest way to improve. Remember, your goal is not perfection, it's clarity, confidence, and comfort. Even among Native American speakers, there are different accents. So focus on what makes your speech easy to understand and pleasant to listen to. Over time, the small adjustments you make will add up to a big difference. When you start paying attention to the American accent in real conversations, you will notice that native speakers often blend sounds together so smoothly that it can be hard to hear where one word ends and the next begins. This blending is not random, it follows natural speech patterns. For example, in "What are you doing?" the sounds often connect, so it becomes "What you doin'?" The "are you" turns into "cha" because the R blends with the Y sound and the Y softens into the CH sound. If you say each word separately, it will sound slower and more formal, but blending will make it sound like everyday American English. Let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly first. What are you doing? Now a little faster. What you doing? And now naturally, what you doin'? You don't have to force the blending. It will happen naturally as you get more comfortable with the rhythm. But practicing it intentionally will help you reach that stage faster. Another example is "Did you eat?" which can become "Did ya eat?" Here the D and the Y combine into the J sound. Repeat after me. Did you eat? Did ya eat? Again. "Did ya eat lunch yet?" These small changes happen all the time in casual speech, and they are a big part of why Native American English sounds so fluid. One of the easiest ways to train your ear for these blends is to listen to short clips of native speakers and write down exactly what you hear. Not what you think they are saying, but the exact sounds. This will help you notice reductions, dropped sounds, and blending patterns. Then, practice reading your version out loud, copying the sounds as closely as possible. Another important feature of the American accent is vowel reduction in unstressed syllables. In everyday speech, many unstressed vowels turn into a very short, relaxed sound called the schwa. For example, in the word banana, the first and last syllables are schwas, bunanu. The stress is on the middle syllable, so the others are reduced. This happens in thousands of words, and recognizing it will make your speech sound more natural. Let's practice some schwa words. Repeat after me. About, support, problem. Again. Listen to how the unstressed syllables are soft and quick, while the stressed syllable is clear and strong. Now try them in sentences. I'll tell you about it later. They support each other. That's a big problem. Can you say it again? This contrast between stressed and unstressed syllables is one of the most important parts of the American rhythm. Speaking of rhythm, American English often has a pattern where stressed syllables occur at regular intervals, and unstressed ones are squeezed in between. This gives the language a kind of beat, like music. If you try to stress every syllable equally, it will sound unnatural. Instead, think of your stressed words as the drum beats and the other words as lighter notes in between. Let's try a rhythm drill. I'll clap in my mind as I say this. I went to the store to buy some apples. Stress falls on went, store, buy, and apples. Everything else is softer and quicker. Repeat after me, matching the rhythm. I went to his store to buy some apples. Now try another. She likes to watch movies on the weekend. Stress is on likes, watch, movies, and weekend. Repeat that slowly, then faster, keeping the beat steady. Another sound you should focus on is the American vowel, like in father, car, start. In American English, this sound is open and flat. It's not rounded like in some other accents. To produce it, open your mouth and drop your jaw slightly, keeping your tongue low in your mouth. Repeat after me. Father, car, start. Now, in sentences, my father has a red car. Let's start the meeting. We also need to talk about nasal sounds, M, N, and NG, because in American English, these can influence the vowels before them. For example, the vowel in can is slightly different from cat because the N sound nasalizes it. Same with sing compared to sit. Let's practice. Can, cat, sing, sit. Now, in sentences, I can do it. The cat is sleeping. I like to sing. Sit down here. By becoming aware of these small changes, you'll train your ear to pick them up when listening to native speakers. Now let's focus on real-life situations where you can use the American accent. Imagine you are ordering coffee. In American English, you might say, "Hi, can I get a medium latte, please?" Notice the flap T in latte and the soft linking between can I get. Repeat after me slowly, then naturally. Hi, can I get a medium latte, please? Another example at a restaurant. Could I have the chicken salad? The could I becomes could I with a light linking. Repeat after me. Could I have the chicken salad? Practicing with real-life phrases will make it easier to use the accent naturally when you need it. Another everyday example is asking for directions. Excuse me, could you tell me where the library is? Here, could you becomes could ya and tell me links smoothly. Repeat after me slowly. Excuse me, could you tell me where the library is? Now naturally, excuse me, could you tell me where the library is? It's also helpful to practice common conversational fillers because they're oft and reduced in casual speech. Words like you know, I mean, and like often become shorter. For example, you know might sound like you know. Repeat after me. You know what I mean? Like, it's really nice outside. These fillers, when used naturally, can make your speech sound more relaxed and native-like, but remember to use them moderately. Pronunciation is important, but so is listening to yourself. That's why mirror practice is effective. Stand in front of a mirror and read something out loud in your American accent. Watch the shape of your mouth, your lip movement, and your jaw position. This visual feedback helps reinforce the muscle memory you need. We can also try tongue twisters to sharpen your pronunciation. Repeat after me slowly. 33 thirsty thieves thought they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. Yes, it's tricky, but it will help your TH sound. Another one. Betty bought a bit of better butter. This will help your flap T and clear vowels. Start slow, then gradually speed up while keeping your sounds clear. One last thing to remember is that the American accent is not a fixed set of rules. It's alive. It changes slightly depending on where you are in the United States and who you're talking to. So don't be afraid to adapt. You might sound slightly different when speaking formally in a meeting compared to chatting with friends at a cafe. Both are valid and both can still sound American. Your goal is to get comfortable enough with the sounds, rhythm, and patterns that you can adjust naturally without overthinking. That only comes with repetition and awareness. Keep practicing daily, keep listening, and keep speaking. Over time, you will hear the difference not just in your accent, but in your confidence. As you keep practicing your American accent, you'll notice that some sounds feel more natural than others. This is because every language has its own default muscle patterns, and your first language has trained your mouth to move in certain ways. To retrain it for an American accent, you need to focus on the sounds that feel the least comfortable or natural. Those are usually the ones that will make the biggest difference when you improve them. Let's begin with the L sound, which in American English comes in two main types, the light L and the dark L. The light L happens when the L is at the beginning of a syllable, like in light or lake. For this, the tip of your tongue touches the roof of your mouth just behind your teeth, and the sound is clean and clear. The dark L happens when the L is at the end of a syllable or word, like in ball or milk. Here, the tongue is pulled slightly back in the mouth, and there's a deeper, darker tone. Let's practice light L words. Repeat after me. Light, late, love, lucky. Now try dark L words. Ball, call, milk, feel. And now some sentences. I love to light candles. I'll call you after dinner. The milk feels cold. Practice these slowly, focusing on the position of your tongue and the quality of the sound. Another important feature in American pronunciation is the use of yaw dropping. This simply means that in some words where other accents might pronounce a Y sound after certain consonants, Americans do not. For example, in British English, tune might sound like tune, but in American English, it's more like tune. Same with student. Instead of student, it's student. Let's practice. Tune, student, duty. In American pronunciation, tune, student, duty. Now in sentences, I have a tune stuck in my head. The student is reading quietly. It's your duty to finish the work. We should also work on the G sound in words ending in ing. In standard American English, the G is usually not pronounced as a hard G sound. It's a nasal ending. So going is going, not going G. But in casual speech, many Americans drop the G entirely, so going becomes goin'. Let's practice both so you can use them in the right context. Repeat after me. Going, doing, singing, walking. Now in sentences. I'm going to the store. He's doing his homework. She's singing beautifully. We're walking to the park. Then try the casual versions. I'm going to the store. He's doing his homework. She's singing beautifully. We're walking to the park. One of the fastest ways to get used to the American accent is to practice with high-frequency phrases, common sentences you can use in daily conversation. These are the sentences you don't want to stop and think about. They should come out automatically. Let's try some now, focusing on linking, rhythm, and reductions. Repeat after me. How's it going? What's up? Long time no see. Do you want to hang out later? Can you help me with this? Now, say them again, a little faster each time, and notice how the sounds naturally blend together. You might have noticed that in American English, questions often rise in pitch toward the end, especially yes, no questions. For example, are you ready? Has a pitch rise that makes it sound like a question. But with WH questions like, where are you going? The pitch usually falls at the end. This pattern is important because it signals to the listener whether you're asking a question or making a statement. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Are you hungry? Rising pitch. Where are you going? Falling pitch. Try these in sentences. Are you coming with us? What time is it? One area where many learners struggle is with the American pronunciation of can and can't. In natural speech, can is often reduced to kin when it's not stressed, and can't is emphasized to make sure the listener hears the negative. Repeat after me. I can do it. I can't do it. In the first sentence, the can is softer. In the second, the can't is stronger. Try in sentences. I can meet you tomorrow. I can't meet you tomorrow. Make sure the difference is clear. Let's also look at the W and V sounds, which can be tricky for some learners. The W sound is made with rounded lips and a gentle oo shape, like in water and wonder. The V sound is made by placing your top teeth gently on your bottom lip and vibrating, like in very and voice. Mixing them up can confuse listeners, so it's important to keep them clear. Practice with me. Water, wonder, very, voice. Now in sentences, I wonder if it will rain. This is a very good idea. To help you really develop your American accent, I want you to practice small accent workouts throughout your day. For example, while waiting for the bus, read a sign in your American accent. While cooking, describe what you're doing out loud in that accent. While walking, repeat common phrases to yourself. The more you integrate this into your daily life, the faster it will stick. Another technique I recommend is over-pronunciation practice. This means exaggerating the sounds just a little more than usual. For example, if you're practicing the R sound, you might say it with more curl in your tongue and more rounding in your lips than you would in natural speech. Doing this helps your muscles learn the correct movement faster. Once it feels comfortable, you can reduce the exaggeration back to normal levels. Let's do a quick exaggerated practice together. Repeat after me with extra clarity. Really, right, red, road. Then put them into a sentence. The red road is really right here. Now go back and say it more naturally, but still keep the clarity. This back and forth practice will help your accent develop faster and more accurately. Another thing to watch out for is the tendency to speak with a flat tone. In American English, a flat tone can sometimes sound uninterested or even unfriendly. Adding a little pitch variation will make you sound more engaging. Even in simple sentences, a bit of pitch movement can change the whole feeling. Try this. Say, "I'm happy to see you." First in a flat tone, then with gentle pitch rises and falls. Notice how the second version sounds warmer. We can also practice contrast stress, which is when you emphasize certain words to change the meaning of the sentence. For example, I didn't say he stole the money. If you stress I, it means someone else might have said it. If you stress stole, it means he might have borrowed it instead. Repeat after me, stressing each different word. I didn't say he stole the money. I didn't say he stole the money. I didn't say he stole the money. This exercise helps you understand how stress affects meaning in American English. Let's put all of this into a short story practice. Repeat after me. Yesterday, I went to the park to meet a friend. We walked around talking about our plans for the weekend. Then we stopped to get some ice cream. The weather was beautiful, and the sun felt warm on my face. I told my friend, "This is exactly what I needed today." As you repeat, focus on linking words, keeping the American vowel shapes, and using natural intonation. When you feel more confident, try telling your own short stories in your American accent. It doesn't matter what the topic is. It could be what you ate for breakfast, a funny thing that happened at work, or something you're planning for tomorrow. The key is to focus on keeping the accent consistent from start to finish without slipping back into your old pronunciation habits. By this stage, you might already be noticing some differences in how you sound. You might also find yourself catching American pronunciation when listening to movies or podcasts more easily. This is a sign your ear is improving, and when your ear improves, your speaking follows naturally. Keep going, because each small improvement is a step toward your goal. One thing you'll notice as you keep training your American accent is that your brain begins to catch certain patterns automatically. At first, you have to think about every sound, but over time, these changes start to happen without you noticing. This is the stage where your practice is really paying off. To speed this up, you should focus on both repetition and variety. Repeat key phrases until they feel natural, but also expose yourself to new words, sentences, and situations so your skills are flexible. Let's start today with an important aspect of American English: the placement of the tongue for certain vowel sounds. American vowels often require a lower or more relaxed tongue than other accents. Take the word cot and the word caught. In some accents, these two words have different vowel sounds, but in many American accents, they sound the same, both with an open, rounded it's sound mine. Repeat after me. Caught, caught. Now in sentences. I slept on a cot last night. I caught the ball easily. Notice how the vowel sound stays the same in both. Another example is the vowel in bit versus beat. In bit, the tongue is slightly lower and the vowel is shorter. In beat, the tongue is higher and the vowel is longer. Repeat after me. Bit, beat. Now, in sentences. That bit of news made me smile. I like to eat fresh beet salad. When you practice, exaggerate the difference at first so your muscles can clearly feel the change. Now, let's talk about the American T sound in more detail. We've already practiced the flap T, but there's also a true T and a held T. The true T is a strong, clear sound like in top or table. The held T happens when the T is at the end of a word but is not fully released, like in cat or hat. Instead of letting out a burst of air, your tongue just holds the position and stops the sound. Repeat after me. Cat, hat. Now in sentences, that cat is black. I like your hat. The sound is subtle, but mastering it will make your speech more authentic. Linking with T is also common. For example, in put it on, the T links to the vowel in it, making it sound like put it on. Repeat after me. Put it on. Now naturally, put it on. Try these. Get it done. Let it go. Set it up. Practice linking slowly, then at a normal speed. Another unique feature in American speech is how stress can change in compound nouns versus adjective plus noun combinations. For example, blackbird, the bird, has the stress on black, but blackbird, any bird that is black, has a more even stress. This stress pattern changes meaning, so it's important to pay attention. Repeat after me. Greenhouse, place where plants grow. Greenhouse, a house that is green. Try in sentences. We visited a greenhouse yesterday. They live in a greenhouse on the hill. Notice has. The rhythm changes slightly. Now, let's practice more real-life conversations so you can apply these sounds naturally. Imagine you're at a store asking for help. Excuse me, do you have this shirt in a medium? Say it slowly, focusing on linking between do you, so it sounds like do you. Repeat after me. Excuse me, do you have this shirt in a medium? Another example, at a cafe. Can I get an iced coffee, please? Here, can I becomes kin I. Repeat, kin. I get an iced coffee, please. We can also work on conversational responses, which are short but important in sounding natural. Americans often use phrases like, sure thing, no problem, sounds good, all right, and you got it in place of longer, more formal responses. Repeat after me. Sure thing, sounds good, no problem, all right, you got it. Practice saying these quickly and lightly because in real conversations, they are often delivered with a friendly, casual tone. Now let's spend a few minutes on the S and Z sounds. In American English, The S is voiceless and sharp, like in see, and the Z is voiced, with vibration, like in zoo. Some learners mix them up, especially at the end of words. Repeat after me: bus, buzz, face, phase. Now in sentences. I took the bus to the zoo. This phase of the project is almost done. Pay attention to whether your voice is vibrating on the Z sound. One challenge that comes up in everyday speech is handling unfamiliar words while keeping your accent. You might know how to say common words like water or hello with an American accent, but what about new names or technical terms? The trick is to break them down into smaller parts, apply the same vowel and consonant rules, and keep the American rhythm. For example, the word photography in American English is stressed on the second syllable, photography, not photography. Repeat after me: photography. Now in a sentence, I'm taking a class in P8, photography. It's also helpful to practice question tags in American English. These are short questions added at the end of a statement like, right or isn't it? Americans use these often in casual speech, and they are usually spoken quickly and with rising intonation. Repeat after me. It's nice out today, right? You're coming with us, aren't you? These small additions make your speech sound more conversational. Let's do another short story together. Repeat after me. This morning, I woke up early and made some coffee. I checked my emails and then I decided to go for a walk. The weather was warm and there was a light breeze. I stopped at a small cafe and ordered an iced tea. It was a perfect start to the day. As you repeat, focus on linking words, using American vowel shapes, and keeping the rhythm natural. One of the fastest ways to improve is to record a short story about your own day every evening in your American accent. It could be just 2 or 3 sentences. Listen to it the next day, notice any sounds that need work, and then try again. Over time, you'll hear yourself improving. Shadowing remains one of the most powerful tools for building your American accent. Let's do a quick drill. Repeat immediately after me. I'll meet you at the park around 3. Again. I'll meet you at the park around 3. Listen for the linking between meet you, and the flap T in water if we used a similar phrase. These details make all the difference. Finally, don't forget the role of body language and breath in your speaking. In American English, speech is often supported by relaxed, open breathing. When you run out of breath, your voice may sound tense, which affects the accent. Practice speaking in short bursts, pausing naturally for breath rather than rushing through long sentences. Every time you practice, remember that consistency is more important than perfection. Keep listening, keep repeating, and keep noticing. Over time, the American accent will feel less like something you're trying to do and more like a natural part of your speech. As your American accent skills grow, you might notice that certain patterns in the language start to feel like music. The rise and fall of pitch, the stretching of some words and the quickness of others, the way sentences seem to dance with rhythm. This musical quality is one of the most important aspects of sounding natural, and it comes from combining all the techniques we've been practicing: stress, intonation, linking, and reduction into one smooth flow. Let's start today with a focus on intonation patterns in statements and questions. In American English, most statements have a falling intonation, meaning your pitch drops slightly toward the end. For example, I'm going to the store starts a little higher and ends a little lower. Repeat after me. I'm going to the store. Now try with a yes/no question. Are you going to the store? Here the pitch rises at the end to signal that it's a question. Repeat after me. Are you going to the store? Practicing these patterns will make your speech easier to follow for native listeners. Another pattern to master is thought groups. Americans naturally break their sentences into small chunks or thought groups with slight pauses in between. This gives the listener time to process and makes the speech more expressive. For example, yesterday I went to the park and I met an old friend there. Each pause separates ideas without breaking the flow. Repeat after me slowly, then more naturally. Yesterday I went to the park and I met an old friend there. Let's now focus on the OO vowel, which can be pronounced in different ways in American English. There's the tense version, like in food and blue, and the more relaxed version, like in book and look. Repeat after me: food, book, blue, look. Now in sentences. I like to read a good book. The sky is blue today. Americans keep the tense oo sound long and round, while the relaxed version is shorter and softer. We should also look at the Y sound and how it blends with vowels. In American English, the Y is often more pronounced at the beginning of words like you and yes, but in other positions it can blend or disappear. For example, did you becomes didja in casual speech. Repeat after me. Didja see that movie? Didja hear the news? Practicing this blending will make your speech sound smoother and less mechanical. One tricky area for many learners is the CH and SH sounds. In American English, CH is a TS sound, as in chair or choose, while SH is S, as in share or shoe. They are similar, but not the same. Repeat after me. Chair, share, choose, shoes. Now in sentences. Please put the chair next to the table. I want to share this with you. The key is to keep CH a little sharper and H a little softer. In casual American English, you'll often hear contractions being used instead of full forms. I am becomes I'm. You are becomes you're. They are becomes their, and so on. Using contractions makes your speech sound more relaxed and natural. Repeat after me. I'm happy to see you. You're going to love this. They're ready to start. Practice saying these quickly and smoothly without pausing between the words. Another everyday habit in American English is the use of informal expressions and idioms. While you don't need to memorize every expression, learning the most common ones will make your speech more relatable. For example, it's a piece of cake means it's easy, and I'm feeling under the weather means I'm not feeling well. Repeat after me. It's a piece of cake. I'm feeling under the weather. Now in context, the test was a piece of cake. I didn't go to work today because I was feeling under the weather. Let's add another layer of practice by working on sentence stress in conversational phrases. In the sentence, I can help you with that, the main stress usually falls on help and that. The other words are softer and quicker. Repeat after me. I can help you with that. Now try, I don't know about that. Here, know and that are stressed. Repeat. I don't know about that. Practicing stress placement helps your sentences sound more dynamic and less flat. Now let's use a shadowing drill to connect all these skills. I'll say a natural-sounding American English sentence, and you repeat immediately after me, matching rhythm, stress, and intonation. Let me know if you need anything. Again. Let me know if you need anything. Notice how let me becomes lemme and if you blends into if ya. This kind of blending happens constantly in everyday American speech. Another key to a fast improvement is learning to predict reductions. For example, give me becomes gimme, tell them becomes tell 'em, and want to becomes wanna. Repeat after me. Gimme a minute, tell 'em I'll call later. I wanna go now. Now try them in sentences. Can you gimme a minute to finish this? Tell 'em we'll be there soon. I wanna eat something before we leave. Saying these naturally will make you sound more like a native speaker without forcing it. Let's move into some everyday scenarios. Imagine you're checking into a hotel. You might say, "Hi, I have a reservation under the name Mia." Repeat after me slowly, then naturally. Hi, I have a reservation under the name Mia. Notice how under the becomes unda the. Another scenario, ordering food at a restaurant. Could I get the chicken sandwich with fries, please? Repeat. Could I get the chicken sandwich with fries, please? The could I becomes coulda or could I with light linking. We can also practice polite but casual refusals, since they are common in conversation. For example, I appreciate it, but I'm okay for now. Repeat after me. I appreciate it, but I'm okay for now. Or, thanks, but maybe later. Repeat, thanks, but maybe later. Saying these with a friendly tone keeps your American accent warm and approachable. It's also important to practice emotional variation. Try saying the same sentence with different emotions while keeping the accent consistent. For example, I can't believe it. Say it with excitement, with surprise, and with disappointment. Each time, keep the American vowel and consonant patterns, but let the pitch and tone reflect the feeling. This will make your accent sound alive rather than mechanical. Let's close this section with a short descriptive paragraph you can practice. Repeat after me. I walked into the cafe and smelled fresh coffee in the air. The barista smiled and asked, "What can I get for you today?" I ordered a latte and found a quiet table by the window. Outside, people were hurrying down the street, their footsteps echoing on the sidewalk. It was a perfect spot to relax and watch the world go by. This kind of practice combines vocabulary, pronunciation, and rhythm all at once. If you keep practicing with full sentences, real-life phrases, and natural reductions, you'll notice that your American accent feels less like something you have to put on and more like the way you automatically speak when using English. The key is daily exposure, daily speaking, and constant listening. Every day you practice, your mouth gets closer to speaking American English without hesitation. By now, you've learned that the American accent is not just about individual sounds. It's about how those sounds work together in real speech. When you start combining them naturally, you'll feel your speech becoming smoother and your confidence growing. This is when your accent begins to sound less like something you're trying to do and more like part of your identity in English. One thing that will help you move forward is paying closer attention to the difference between stressed and unstressed function words. Function words like and, to, of, for, but, can, and have are often reduced when they're not stressed. For example, I can do it often sounds like I can do it in casual American speech. Repeat after me. I can do it. The word for often becomes fur when reduced. I got this for you. Repeat after me. I got this for you. Learning to reduce these words naturally makes your speech flow more like a native's. Another powerful tool for your accent is the ability to link consonants to vowels between words. For example, in take it, the K sound connects directly to the vowel in it, making it sound like take it. In check out, the K links to out, so it becomes check out. Repeat after me. Take it, check out, check out. Now try in sentences. Take it with you. Check out the new store. When you start linking like this, your speech will sound smoother and less choppy. The American accent also has something called intrusive R in some connected speech. This happens when an extra R sound appears between words to make them flow more smoothly, even if there's no R in spelling. For example, law and order often sounds like law, R, and order. Try it with me. Law, R, and order. Or idea of it becomes idea R of it. Repeat. Idea rar of it. It's not something to overuse, but hearing it will help you understand native speech better and make you sound more natural in some cases. Let's focus now on one of the most common vowel changes in American English. The flipped, a sound in certain words. In words like can, man, plan, and stand, the vowel is not a pure ah, but has a little bit of a in it. Repeat after me. Can, man, plan, stand. Now in sentences, I can help you. That man is tall. Let's plan our trip. Please, stand here. This subtle vowel quality is part of what makes the American accent distinct. Another detail is how Americans pronounce the O in words like not, hot, stop, and lot. The vowel is open and rounded, almost like ah, but with a warmer quality. Repeat after me. Not, hot, stop, lot. Now in sentences, I'm not ready yet. It's hot outside. Please stop talking. That's a lot of food. Pay attention to how your jaw drops slightly more for this sound. We should also practice the ER sound, which is a hallmark of American English. This sound appears in words like her, bird, learn, and turn. To make it, curl your tongue slightly upward toward the roof of your mouth without touching it, and round your lips just a bit. Repeat after me. Her, bird, learn, turn. Now in sentences, I saw her yesterday. The bird is singing. I want to learn more. Please turn left. Americans keep this R sound strong in all positions, unlike some other accents where it disappears at the end. Let's put some of these sounds into a daily life conversation practice. Imagine you're meeting a friend for lunch. You might say, "Hey, are you ready to order?" Repeat after me. Hey, are you ready to order? Notice the linking between ready and to, so it becomes ready to order. Another example. I think I'll have the salad and soup combo. Repeat after me. I think I'll have the salad and soup combo. Notice how salad and becomes saladin. This is very common in casual American speech. We can also work on polite offers since they come up often. For example, do you want me to help you with that? In American English, this often becomes, do you want me to help you with that? Repeat after me slowly, then naturally. Do you want me to help you with that? Another example. Can I get you something to drink? The to becomes tui. Can I get you something to drink? Repeat after me. Another useful skill is practicing your accent with numbers, because numbers are everywhere in daily life. Americans have their own rhythm for saying them. For example, 20 often sounds like 20 with a flap T. Repeat after me. 20, 20. 30 often becomes thir-e, dropping the T sound, 30, thir-e. Let's try in sentences. I live on 21st Street. It costs $30. Practicing numbers helps because it combines pronunciation with rhythm and stress. We can also use tongue twisters for precision. Repeat after me slowly. The 33 thieves thought they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. This works your TH sounds. Another. She sells seashells by the seashore. This sharpens your S and SH distinction. Start slow, focus on accuracy, then gradually increase speed. For better fluency, let's work with short storytelling exercises. I'll give you a simple one, and you repeat after me, paying attention to rhythm, linking, and reductions. Last weekend, I went to the farmer's market. I bought some fresh fruit and vegetables. The strawberries were so sweet. I ate them all on the same day. It was a beautiful morning, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Each time you tell a story like this, try to make your intonation rise and fall naturally, like a native speaker. Another tip is to listen and mimic not just what native speakers say, but how they say it emotionally. In American English, enthusiasm, curiosity, and friendliness often come through in the voice. Even a simple phrase like, "That's great," can sound completely different depending on pitch, stress, and energy. Try it with me. That's great, enthusiastic. That's great, neutral. That's great, sarcastic. By practicing emotional variety, you'll make your accent sound more alive. Also, don't underestimate the power of shadow practice with your favorite shows, podcasts, or interviews. Pick a clip under 1 minute. Play it. Pause after every sentence and repeat exactly what you hear. Not just the words, but the tone, speed, and reductions. Then try it again without pausing, speaking along with the audio. This is one of the fastest ways to internalize natural American speech patterns. By now, you might already be noticing that certain words or phrases you've practiced feel automatic. That's a good sign. But remember, consistency is everything. It's better to practice for 10 minutes every day than for 2 hours only once a week. Repetition is what makes the accent stay in your muscle memory. And every time you listen, repeat, and adjust, you're training both your ear and your mouth to work in sync. By now, you've trained your ear to hear the smaller details of American speech, and you've started shaping your mouth to match them. But one of the most powerful ways to make your accent sound more natural is to focus on speech flow. Not just individual words, but how one sentence blends into the next. Native American English speakers rarely speak in disconnected pieces. Their sentences spill into each other with natural pauses that match meaning, not punctuation alone. Let's practice with a small passage to hear that flow. Repeat after me. I woke up early this morning, made myself some coffee, and watched the sun rise before starting my day. Notice how made myself connects, how watch the blends into watch thee, and how the pauses feel gentle rather than abrupt. Try it again, making the connections smooth. Another important habit is anticipation linking. This is when your mouth starts shaping the first sound of the next word before you finish the current one. For example, in look at that, your lips are already moving for at while finishing look, and at starts blending into that. Repeat after me. Look at that. Now natural. I look at that. This forward-thinking movement makes your speech smoother and more efficient. Let's revisit the flap T because it plays a huge role in everyday American speech. You already know it happens when a T sound is between two vowels, like in water or better. But it can also occur when the T comes before an R, as in better off, which sounds like better off. Repeat after me, better off, lot of, get out. Now in sentences, it's better off this way. I have a lot of time. Get out of here. Practicing this will make your speech instantly sound more native-like because it's such a common pattern. Another feature of the American accent is vowel gliding. Some vowel sounds in American English tend to move slightly from one position to another. For example, the vowel in go starts with a slight gu and moves toward u. The vowel in day moves from a to a slight e. Repeat after me. Go, day. Now in sentences. I'll go to the store later today. These small glides give American vowels a distinct quality. We also need to look at the pronunciation of R plus consonant combinations. Words like world, girl, third, and word can be tricky. They require keeping the R sound strong without over-rounding it. Repeat after me slowly. World, girl, third, word. Now in sentences. The world is changing fast. That girl is very talented. It's my third time here. That's a strong word to use. These R plus consonant sounds are very common, so practicing them will give you confidence in conversations. For real-life application, let's practice casual invitations because they combine reductions, linking, and rhythm. Repeat after me. Wanna grab lunch later? The want to becomes wanna, and grab lunch flows together smoothly. Another example. How about a movie tonight? The how about a sounds like how about a. Repeat, how about a movie tonight? Practicing these short, natural questions will make your speech sound more relaxed. Numbers in American speech often have their own rhythm, especially when combined with time and dates. For example, 6:30 often becomes 6:30 with a softer T. Repeat after me. 6:30, 4:45, 8:30. Now in sentences, let's meet at 6:30. The train leaves at 4:45. Breakfast is at 8:30. Practicing these will help you handle schedules and appointments naturally in conversation. Let's add an exercise for descriptive storytelling, which is great for training both your accent and your fluency. Repeat after me. I was walking through the park when I saw a little dog chasing a red ball. Its owner was laughing, and the leaves were falling gently from the trees. It felt like the perfect autumn afternoon. As you repeat, focus on linking was walking, saw a, and red ball, so they flow smoothly. The American accent also has a tendency to soften or drop certain consonants in casual speech without losing clarity. For example, the D in and often disappears when it's between two consonants. Bread and butter becomes bread and butter. Repeat after me. Bread and butter, salt and pepper, rock and roll. Now in sentences, I like bread and butter with my tea. We need salt and pepper for the salad. They love rock and roll music. Using these reductions in casual situations will make you sound more natural. Another tip is to practice with reaction phrases, short responses you can use in daily life because they're often delivered quickly and with reductions. Repeat after me. No way. That's awesome. Are you serious? Sounds great. Sure thing. Now try them with different emotions. Excited, surprised, doubtful. This will help you get comfortable with pitch changes and expressive delivery. Let's work on the long A vowel as in name, late, and cake. In American English, this sound starts with A and moves slightly toward E. Repeat after me. Name, late, cake. Now in sentences. My name is Mia. Don't be late for dinner. That's a delicious cake. Keeping the glide smooth will make these vowels sound more authentic. The short I vowel, as in sit or ship, is another sound to master. In American English, it's a relaxed high front vowel. Your tongue is high but not tense. Repeat after me. Sit, ship. Now in sentences. Please sit down. The ship is leaving the harbor. This sound is easy to confuse with the long E as in seat, so be sure to keep them distinct. Let's do another shadowing drill to reinforce everything we've been practicing. Repeat immediately after me. Could you tell me where the nearest coffee shop is? Notice how could you becomes coulda, and how nearest coffee shop links together without pauses. Again, could you tell me where the nearest coffee shop is? This type of natural linking happens constantly in American speech. We'll close this section with a short daily life paragraph you can repeat to bring everything together. This morning, I woke up earlier than usual. I made a cup of coffee and sat by the window. Outside, the streets were quiet, and the sky was turning from dark blue to bright orange. I checked my messages, planned my day, and got ready to head out. Repeat it slowly at first, then at a natural pace, keeping all the reductions, linking, and vowel shapes we've practiced. The more you practice like this, with real phrases, real situations, and natural rhythm, the faster your American accent will settle into your everyday speech. You'll find yourself speaking without overthinking, and that's the moment you'll know your hard work is paying off. As we move forward, it's important to remember that mastering an American accent is not just about repeating sounds. It's about adopting the natural habits of speech that native speakers use every day. These habits become automatic over time, but in the beginning, you need to bring them into your practice on purpose. By doing this consistently, you'll reach a stage where you no longer have to think about the accent. It will simply be the way you speak in English. One habit to work on is blending question words smoothly with the rest of the sentence. In casual American speech, what are you often becomes whatcha. How are you becomes how are ya, and where are you becomes where are ya. Repeat after me. What you doing this weekend? How are you feeling today? Where are you going after work? At first, these might feel fast, but with practice, they'll come out naturally and make your speech sound more connected. Another common feature in American English is using gonna, wanna, and gotta in place of going to, want to, and got to in casual speech. These aren't sloppy, they're simply the way people actually speak in everyday situations. Repeat after me. I'm gonna call you later. I wanna try that new restaurant. I gotta finish this before I leave. Now in sentences, I'm gonna go shopping this afternoon. I wanna learn more about this topic. I gotta get up early tomorrow. The key is to use them naturally in the right context, mainly in casual conversations, not formal settings. Let's also revisit how Americans use the schwa sound in unstressed syllables. This is the most common vowel in American English, and it's what makes speech sound more relaxed. For example, chocolate is pronounced chocolate, with the middle syllable reduced to almost nothing. Family often sounds like family rather than family. Repeat after me. Chocolate, family, camera, memory. Now in sentences, I bought some chocolate for you. My family lives nearby. I need a new camera. This is one of my favorite memories. Reducing unstressed syllables makes your rhythm more native-like. We should also work on the TH sounds again because they are essential in American pronunciation. Remember, think has the voiceless TH and this has the voiced TH. In casual speech, these can sometimes be softened, especially between words, but they're never replaced by S or Z sounds in standard American English. Repeat after me. Think, this, thought. These, now in sentences. I think it's a good idea. This is what I meant. I had a thought about our plan. These are my favorite shoes. Practicing these until they feel natural will give your speech a smoother flow. Let's bring these skills into a real-life dialogue practice. Imagine you're meeting a friend at a cafe. Hey, how are you doing? I'm good, just grabbing some coffee before work. What you having? Repeat after me, paying attention to reductions and linking. Hey, how are you doing? I'm good, just grabbing some coffee before work. What you having? These small, natural exchanges are exactly the kind of practice that will help you sound authentic in everyday life. We can also practice uptalk and downtalk, which are changes in pitch at the end of sentences. Uptalk rises in pitch and is common in questions or when you're seeking confirmation. You're coming with us, right? Downtalk falls in pitch and is used in statements. I'm meeting him at 5. Repeat after me. You're coming with us, right? I'm meeting him at 5. Using pitch intentionally will make your speech more expressive and engaging. Another feature of the American accent is how certain consonants are dropped or softened in casual speech. For example, and often becomes N in phrases like bread and butter, and or can become in sooner or later. Repeat after me, bread and butter, sooner or later. Now in sentences. I like bread and butter for breakfast. We'll get it done sooner or later. Mastering these small reductions will help your speech flow more easily. We should also practice handling emphasis in sentences. Americans often highlight a single word to show importance, and the rest of the sentence is lighter. For example, I really like this song puts the stress on really to add feeling. Repeat after me. I really like this song. Try changing the saying. Rest to like. I really like this song. Notice how the meaning changes slightly. Practicing this will make your speech sound more dynamic. Now let's do a mini story with full American rhythm and reductions. Repeat after me. Yesterday, I was going to go to the gym, but I got busy with work. I ended up just taking a walk in the park instead. The weather was nice, so I stayed out for almost an hour. When I got home, I made dinner and watched a movie. Practice this until you can say it smoothly without thinking about each sound. We can also work on the long E vowel, as in see, meet, and tree. This sound is tense, and the lips spread slightly. Repeat after me. See, meet, tree. Now in sentences. I see what you mean. Let's meet at the cafe. That tree is very tall. Keeping the long E clear will help you avoid mixing it with the short I sound in sit or bit. For variety, let's practice the OW vowel as in now, how, and brown. This sound starts with an open mouth and glides toward a more closed position. Repeat after me. Now, how, brown, now in sentences. I'm leaving right now. How are you doing today? The brown dog is sleeping. These vowel glides are part of the melody of American English. Finally, we'll end this section with a conversational role play. I'll say both parts, but you repeat after me for practice. Hi, can I get a medium coffee, please? Sure thing. Would you like cream and sugar? Just cream, thanks. No problem. Here you go. This kind of short, everyday interaction is perfect for building confidence in real-life speaking situations. Every day you practice like this, you're training not just your pronunciation, but also your rhythm, your timing, and your listening skills. Over time, your accent will start to feel natural, and people will understand you more easily and enjoy talking with you. By this point, you've built a strong foundation in the sounds, rhythm, and reductions that make up the American accent. Now, it's time to push your skills into more complex and natural speech patterns, where you're not only pronouncing correctly, but also speaking with the relaxed confidence of a native. One area to focus on is smooth sentence transitions. Native American English speakers often connect ideas without sounding abrupt. They use transition phrases like, you know, I mean, actually, basically, and so to guide the conversation. These words are often reduced and said quickly. Repeat after me. You know, I mean, actually, basically, so. Now in sentences, you know, I was thinking about that yesterday. I mean, it's not a big deal. Actually, that sounds great. Basically, we just need to start. So, what do you want to do? By using these connectors naturally, your speech will sound more flowing and conversational. We should also work on thought chunking with emotional tone. For example, I really wanted to go, but I didn't have the time. Here, there's a small pause after go to signal a shift in thought, and the second part has a different tone. Repeat after me slowly, then naturally. I really wanted to go, but I didn't have the time. Practicing chunking will help you keep a steady rhythm while still sounding expressive. Now, let's revisit vowel clarity in fast speech. In casual conversation, Americans don't enunciate every vowel fully, but stressed vowels stay clear and strong. For example, in I'm going to the store, the words going and store are stressed, while to the are reduced to the. Repeat after me. I'm going to the store. In natural speech, it flows like one smooth unit. Practicing this will help your speech sound effortless while staying understandable. We can also work on intrusive linking between vowels. when one word ends in a vowel and the next starts with a vowel. Americans often add a slight consonant sound like Y or W to connect them. For example, go on can sound like go on, and I agree can sound like I agree. Repeat after me. Go on. I agree. Now in sentences. Let's go one with the plan. I agree with what you said. This keeps your speech smooth and avoids awkward pauses between vowels. Another detail to practice is how Americans pronounce NT in the middle of words. In casual speech, NT can become a nasalized N sound with the T disappearing, especially in words like center, winter, winner, and internet. Repeat after me. Center, winner, internet. Now in sentences, the shopping center is busy. Winter is my favorite season. I read it on the internet. This is not for formal speech, but it's very common in everyday conversation. Let's add another layer with phrasal verbs, since they're common in American English and often pronounced as one connected unit. For example, pick up, run out, turn off, look after. Repeat after me. Pick up, run out, turn off, look after. Now in sentences. Can you pick up some milk? We've run out of time. Please turn off the lights. She'll look after the kids. Keep them smooth and connected, not separate. Now let's practice an everyday shopping interaction, focusing on reductions and natural linking. Repeat after me. Hi, do you have this in a smaller size? Notice how do you becomes dia. Sure, let me check in the back for you. Thanks, I'd really appreciate it. No problem, I'll be right back. Practicing short role plays like this will make you ready for real-life conversations. We should also talk about pitch variety for engagement. In American English, keeping your pitch completely flat can make you sound uninterested, so even in simple statements, there's usually a slight rise and fall. For ample. It's a beautiful day today rises slightly on beautiful and falls on today. Repeat after me. It's a beautiful day today. Try to let your pitch move naturally as you speak. For pronunciation accuracy, let's revisit the air sound in words like care, share, there, and where. This is a combination of a short vowel followed by a strong R. Repeat after me. Care, share, there, where. Now in sentences, I don't care what they say. I want to share this with you. I was there yesterday. Where are you going? Keeping the R clear will make this sound distinctly American. We can also train the OR sound in words like more, store, before, and ignore. This is a rounded vowel with the R fully pronounced. Repeat after me. More, store, before, ignore. Now in sentences. I want more coffee. The store closes soon. Think before you speak. I'll ignore that comment. Let's combine several of these patterns into a mini story for practice. Repeat after me. This morning, I woke up earlier than usual. I was gonna go for a run, but it started raining. So I made some coffee and read a book instead. Later, I went to the store to pick up groceries. I ran into an old friend there, and we talked for a while before heading home. As you repeat, focus on the reductions like gonna and ran into, the linking between words, and the changes in pitch for storytelling. Another great exercise is to practice speaking while imagining you are in a specific setting. For example, pretend you're on the phone confirming an appointment. Repeat after me. Hi, this is Mia. I'm calling to confirm my appointment for tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Notice how calling to becomes callin' to and 3 o'clock flows together. Doing scenario-based practice will help you sound more natural under real-life pressure. Finally, remember that the American accent is about balance. You want to sound clear without overpronouncing and natural without becoming too casual in situations that require formality. The more you switch between contexts in your practice, the easier it will be to adjust your speech when you need to. Every step you've taken so far, mastering individual sounds, practicing linking, working on reductions, controlling pitch, has brought you closer to sounding confident and authentic in American English. Keep layering these skills, and soon your accent will feel effortless. At this point, your American accent practice should feel like it's becoming part of your everyday life. You're no longer just studying sounds in isolation. You're using them in conversations, in stories, in quick exchanges, and in moments when you have to respond naturally. That's exactly where you want to be, because the more you integrate your accent into real communication, the more effortless it becomes. One thing that will help you refine your accent further is focusing on speech economy. In American English, speakers often choose the most efficient way to say something without losing clarity. This means using reductions, linking, and smoother transitions to make speech faster and more fluid. For example, instead of, "What do you think about it?" you'll often hear, "What do you think about it?" Repeat after me. What do you think about it? Another, "I don't know," becomes, "I don't know." Repeat after me. I don't know. These shortcuts are part of natural speech and help you blend in more easily. Let's revisit the oo sound, which can change depending on the word. In words like food and move, the sound is long and rounded. In words like book and good, it's shorter and more relaxed. Repeat after me. Food, book, move, good. Now in sentences, I like good food. Please move the book closer. Hearing and producing these subtle differences will help your accent sound polished. We can also work on the A sound in words like play, day, and stay. In American English, this sound starts with a clear A and glides into E. Repeat after me. Play, day, stay. Now in senti. N says, let's play a game. It's a sunny day. Please stay here for a while. Keep the glide smooth without breaking it into two separate sounds. Another skill to refine is thought rhythm. This is where the stressed words in a sentence carry the main meaning, and the unstressed ones act like soft connectors. For example, I need to talk to you after class stresses need, talk, and class, while the other words are lighter. Repeat after me slowly, then naturally. I need to talk to you after class. Practicing rhythm like this will give your speech a native-like pacing. We should also spend time on natural back-channeling phrases. These are short expressions you use to show you're listening in a conversation. Americans often say, uh-huh, right, yeah, I see, or gotcha, while the other person is talking. Repeat after me. Uh-huh, right, yeah, I see, gotcha. Now try using them in short exchanges. I went to the new restaurant yesterday. Oh, right. Yeah, it was really good. Uh-huh. I've heard that place is great. Back-channeling not only makes you sound more natural, but also keeps conversations flowing smoothly. Let's do a short scenario at the grocery store to bring together reductions, linking, and rhythm. Repeat after me. Hi, do you know where the bread is? Notice how do you becomes dia. Yeah, it's right next to the milk. The right next to blends into right next to. Thanks a lot. No problem. These quick, everyday exchanges are where your accent training pays off the most. Another helpful area is practicing time talk, because Americans have specific ways of saying times and dates. Repeat after me. 7:15, 4:15, 6:30, 8:45. Now in sentences. The meeting's at 7:15. Let's meet at 4:15. Dinner's at 6:30. The movie starts at 8:45. Keep the linking smooth so the numbers and words flow together naturally. Let's also revisit the American R in different positions. At the start of words, read, run, write. In the middle, carry, very, hurry. At the end, car, far, better. Repeat each group after me, focusing on keeping the R strong but not tense. Now in sentences. The red car is very fast. I'm in a hurry to get there. It's better to be early than late. The R sound is one of the most recognizable parts of the American accent, so the more natural it becomes, the more authentic you'll sound. Another great practice is to work with compound reductions, where multiple reductions happen in the same phrase. For example, what are you going to do becomes what you gonna do. Repeat after me, what you gonna do. when are we going to leave becomes, when are we gonna leave? Repeat, when are we gonna leave? You'll hear these constantly in casual American conversations, so being able to produce them will boost your fluency. Let's move into a storytelling drill, which combines pronunciation, rhythm, reductions, and linking. Repeat after me. Last night, I went out with some friends to a new restaurant downtown. We ordered a bunch of different dishes to share. The food was amazing and the atmosphere was really nice. After dinner, we walked around and ended up getting ice cream before heading home. As you practice, pay attention to where the voice naturally rises and falls and how the words connect without big pauses. Now, let's do some targeted sound work for clarity. Practice the difference between ship and sheep. Repeat after me, ship, sheep. Now in sentences, the ship is in the harbor. The sheep are in the field. Also practice full and fool. Full, fool. In sentences, the glass is full of water. Don't be a fool. These minimal pairs will train your ear to catch and produce important vowel differences. Another way to make your accent more natural is to use confirmation questions at the end of statements, such as, right? Isn't it? Or, you know? Repeat after me. It is a beautiful day, right? That's your car, isn't it? You know, I think you're correct. These short tags are common in American speech and give your conversations a natural flow. We can finish this section with a full paragraph for you to shadow and repeat. This morning, I grabbed my keys and headed out for a walk. The air was crisp and the streets were quiet. I passed by a bakery and the smell of fresh bread filled the air. I decided to stop in and buy a loaf. On the way home, I ran into a neighbor, and we chatted for a few minutes before I continued on my way. Practicing with short, vivid paragraphs like this will give you a chance to apply all your accent skills in a realistic context. The more you combine sound accuracy, natural reductions, clear rhythm, and emotional tone, the more your American accent will sound effortless. You're building muscle memory and a natural ear for the accent, and each practice session is bringing you closer to your goal. By now, you've explored the sounds, rhythm, intonation, reductions, linking, and natural speech habits that form the core of the American accent. You've practiced them in isolation, in short phrases, and in full sentences. You've used them in role plays, short stories, and real-life scenarios. The final step is about reinforcement, making sure these habits become second nature so that your American accent feels as natural as breathing when you speak English. One of the most effective ways to make your accent stick is context repetition. This means taking one real-life situation and practicing it in multiple variations until you can say it naturally without thinking. For example, imagine ordering food at a restaurant. Start with, "Hi, can I get a cheeseburger and fries, please?" Repeat until smooth. Then change it slightly. "Hi, I'll have a cheeseburger with fries, please." Or, "Could I get a cheeseburger and fries?" In each version, keep the linking, reductions, and American vowel sounds consistent. Another powerful exercise is story looping. Pick a short, personal story, something that happened recently, and tell it 5 or 6 times in a row. Each time, focus on one aspect of your accent. Once on vowel clarity, once on reductions, once on linking, once on intonation, and once on speed. This will help you strengthen every element without feeling overwhelmed. Let's revisit some high-frequency conversational connectors that help speech flow. Americans use so, anyway, you know, I mean, and well to connect thoughts. These are often said quickly and softly at the beginning or middle of a sentence. Repeat after me. So, I was thinking, anyway, we should start. You know, that's a good idea. I mean, we could try it. Well, let's see what happens. Using these naturally makes your conversations feel more fluid. We should also go back to practicing intonation curves for storytelling. In American English, stories often start with a slightly higher pitch for the first part, rise again during key points, and then fall at the end. For example, yesterday I went to the park. I met a friend I hadn't seen in years. We had such a great time catching up. Repeat after me slowly, then naturally. Yesterday I went to the park. I met a friend I hadn't seen in years. We had such a great time catching up. This pitch movement is part of what makes American English sound engaging. Now let's practice common question forms. Yes, no questions often rise in pitch. Do you like it? Questions often fall in pitch. Where are you from? Repeat after me. Do you like it? Where are you from? Mixing question types in practice will help you handle them naturally in conversation. For more fluency, let's focus on the OW vowel in words like now, how, about, and around. In American English, this vowel starts with an open mouth and glides toward a more closed position. Repeat after me, now, how, about, around. Now in sentences. I'm leaving right now. How are you today? What about dinner? I'll be around all afternoon. Keep the glide smooth without breaking it into 2 sounds. Let's bring back the ER vowel, which you'll find in her, word, learn, and turn. Keep your tongue slightly raised and curled back with your lips relaxed. Repeat after me. Her, word, learn, turn. Now in sentences. I spoke to her yesterday. That's not the right word. I want to learn more. Please turn left at the corner. The ER sound is one of the strongest identity markers of the American accent, so use it with confidence. Another daily life drill you can do is reaction chains. These are quick, natural responses to things people say. For example, someone says, "I just got back from vacation," and you reply, "Oh, that's great." Or they say, "It's raining again," and you reply, "Yeah, I know, right?" Repeat after me. "Oh, that's great." "Yeah, I know, right? That sounds amazing. Are you serious?" Practicing quick reactions will make your American accent sound more natural in unscripted conversation. Now let's practice time and place sentences, since these often involve reductions. Repeat after me. "I'll see you at 3 o'clock. I'm meeting her at the cafe. We'll be there in about 20 minutes. Notice how at the becomes at the and about 20 becomes 'bout 20. These are subtle, but they make a big difference in sounding native-like. For your final shadowing drill, here's a descriptive paragraph to repeat after me. "This afternoon, I walked downtown to do some shopping. The weather was warm, and people were sitting outside at the cafes. I stopped at a bookstore and found a novel I'd been wanting to read. After that, I grabbed an iced coffee and headed to the park to relax for a while." As you repeat, focus on linking every possible sound, reducing small words, and letting your pitch rise and fall naturally. The last tip I'll give you is to record and review. Pick a different scenario each day, ordering food, telling a short story, making plans with a friend, and record yourself speaking it in your best American accent. Then listen back and compare it to how a native speaker might say it. This self-feedback is one of the fastest ways to correct small issues and refine your sound. Remember, learning an accent is not about sounding perfect. It's about being understood clearly, speaking comfortably, and feeling confident in your English. With the skills you've built here, sound accuracy, rhythm control, natural linking, reductions, and pitch variation, you have everything you need to keep improving. Every time you listen, practice, and adjust, your American accent gets stronger. And that's how you learn the American accent fast, not by rushing through, but by practicing with focus and consistency every single day. If you keep going, in just a few months, you'll notice a huge difference in how you sound and how people respond to you. Keep speaking, keep listening, and keep challenging yourself. Your American accent is now part of your English voice.